Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 368. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Two Fresh Crash. Crash, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you're doing good. You're doing good. Can't wait for the day that you say, you know what, Fix? It's been a really bad
Look,
week. Been a really bad week.
I'm a little bit tired today. That's all I got is that I'm doing good.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, I'm free. I was out partying. I didn't go to bed till a whole 1 o'clock in the morning.
Unbelievable.
And the one and only Mr. Matt P. Video. Matt, how are you? The producer.
I'm fantastic, mate.
You
I'm
good,
feeling
yeah?
really good this morning. Yeah. Woke up, sat. I got
Wait. You're usually the one that puts in the group. Gonna be there, but I'm gonna be hungover. That's like we get that like every week. Is so? Did you not?
So
drink
here's
last
the
night?
difference.
Go on.
I did not have a drink last night. I was up very early yesterday morning. And so I had kind of an early night actually. But also this weekend, Emma is away. She's gone to see Westlife in London, which I didn't fancy, and so got the place to myself. And you know, just energy's chill. You know what I mean?
Did you go see Westlife, Haley? Haley went and saw Westlife the other day. Why is Westlife now relevant again? What the hell happened?
I don't know. She's going with her parents and stuff. I think they're more excited. Well, actually, no, that's not true. She's very excited for it, but yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Wait, all right.
Who the fuck is Westlife?
I was gonna ask, what is Westlife? Is Westlife a person?
No, Westlife's a 90s boy band.
I think maybe 80s.
Oh, they 80s? They might be.
Did they start in the 80s? Maybe.
Could be
I don't know.
Could be right. Yeah, and they're proper cheesy. Like imagine, you know, Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and like imagine that, but British. So it's even worse.
They were active from the years
They are British,
1998 to 2012.
1998. Okay, so
Chris, how dare you? They're still active today, yeah.
Yeah, but okay. Wait. I'm gonna. This says years active 1998 to 2012, and then 2018 to present. So clearly they broke up at some point, and you didn't keep up with your Westlife news.
Not all of them returned. So it's not a full
drama
anymore, you know.
Guys, I've got this. Hello and welcome to My Westlife and Me. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside Westlife superfan Matt P. Video. How are you, Matt?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How's Ronan Keaton doing nowadays? You know what I mean? That's the question I have to ask.
I actually reached out to him the other day for our segment on the podcast, the Westlife news stories. Ronan Keaton doing really well.
Good.
Well.
I'm glad.
He's okay. And obviously our other co-host, Westlife new fan, Fresh. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just super excited to get into some more Westlife every day. So a new experience.
Weirdly, Crash, one of Westlife's most popular songs is a church hymn. You Raised Me Up. They just covered a hymn from church, and that's one of the most popular songs.
That's not surprising.
Kind of a weird band. Kind of a weird band, if I'm honest with you.
So, from what I got told, I know we're not actually My Westlife and Me, but we're here, so we're going with it. Haley said there was just a lot of men as well, like way more men than she was expecting. And I was like, I expected that to be 40-plus-year-old mums and dads, mums. It was a lot of men, apparently.
That's interesting. I mean, they're basically the One Direction, right, of the 90s. Like, they were, well, maybe they're not that big. They were not international, maybe. But
that's a stretch, my guy. Like, One Direction actually big.
I would have heard of them.
Yeah, exactly.
They were that big.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I played you some Westlife bangers, Crash, you'd be like, this tweaks.
You want to take this bet? We can take this bet.
I'll take the bet all day long. Crash is not going to know a single Westlife.
Yeah, I will take this bet.
No way. Anyway, if you don't know what My Xbox and Me is, our weekly Xbox podcast right here on youtube.com/myxboxandme and all podcast services. If you want to support the show financially, head over to patreon.com/mcfixer and watch the show live like people are currently. Also, you can find us on all podcast services. Drop us a cheeky. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't take any time. I know there is one new review. We're going to save it for next week.
Oh.
Just because... we ain't got a lot of time. We've already taken up a lot of time with Westlife and Me this week. But yeah, so next week we'll check them. So make sure you get your reviews in. Shout out to our Patreon producers, Aaron God and FNH Paul, helping us keep on the road. Topic of the show this week, boys. Not Westlife, I know. Xbox begins testing Game Pass Family Pack. Xbox players will soon have a new way to share Xbox Game Pass with family members, making it easier to use in a household or across small and tight-knitted gaming groups. Microsoft is now testing Game Pass Family Plan as via shared by Xbox Wire, and in a line with a prior executive report from Windows Central. Right now, the test is limited to players in Colombia, and Ireland, who will need to be in the correct Xbox Insider test. This is huge. Like, I know we've had these conversations before. We've all said, when's it happening? I think the big conversation for all of us was price point, and I believe the price point is $21.99. And that's the rumor.
In euros.
That's euros.
That's euros. Yeah, and then I think it was $24.99.
Yeah,
and they haven't like officially announced any of that yet.
Gotcha.
I think people kind of extrapolating that from if you signed up and you had a month of Game Pass Ultimate, it would convert into 18 days of family plan.
Yeah.
This hypothetically, let's say that is the price.
Yeah.
How do we feel?
I think that's good if you get 4 people because it's Game Pass Ultimate. It's not just regular Game Pass.
Yeah.
4 people, $25. That turns out to be like what, $7 or $6 or something like that.
Well, it's 5 people. It's you plus 4.
So it's you plus 4.
It works out $5 a piece.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
Incredible.
So I always look at this from I look at this from a poor person. Not poor is probably the wrong word. A less privileged person's position, and I think this now makes Xbox head and shoulders above PlayStation when it comes to this. And if you are somebody who is on a limited budget, or you have multiple kids and whatever, like whether you're a dad and you've got 2 Xbox Series S's for kids or whatever the case may be, or you're thinking about, oh, do I want a PlayStation or do I want an Xbox? I think this is a huge leg up on the PlayStation and Nintendo as well, by the way. Like, I generally feel like this.
Yeah.
I've got a brother the same age as me. Like, my dad would have been like, yes. What do you mean? All these games? Yeah. And there's new ones added? And, like, I don't need to. Yes, all day long. All day long.
To be fair, I think for households with 2 Xboxes and whatnot, you could already Game Pass share with just one account.
But but it was so it's very convoluted to do it, and it's not an official way of doing things either, by the way.
Yeah, that is very true. Of course,
no one on this podcast does that. Nobody. None of us endorse that, and none of us do that. None of us make our home console a different console and like have our friends log in and then get our game shared across all. None of us do that.
Of course not.
But if we did, it'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
True.
Very interesting.
You've also got to think like the younger kids that we're kind of talking about in these scenarios probably don't know that. Their parents probably don't know that, and like,
I'll be honest, kids are smarter than you're giving them credit right now.
Well, maybe.
No, but I think
I do think that there are kids that 100% you're correct about, but I also do think there are kids that absolutely are like, how can I save as much money as possible to convince my parents to get something like this? And I think those kids absolutely know what they're doing, what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I feel like it's one of those things, but this is just going to be like a Netflix account, like an Amazon Prime account, like a Hulu account, like a HBO account. It's nice to have this option. Like a Spotify account. It's nice to have this option. And even me, I'm like, yeah, me, Haley, my brother-in-law, maybe even put my sister on it just so she can start getting into games a little bit more. There's a lot of option there.
Yeah. I will say it's also really interesting timing. I don't know how the economy's looking worldwide, but America's like sort of borderline recession right now.
We're there.
Yeah, so it's like interesting for this to be starting now, and I wonder if this is sort of like in line with we can sort of go into the recession area and still be secure with Game Pass and whatnot, and still have people and keep it growing.
We've seen it's been reported across the boards like the financial earnings of like Xbox, PlayStation, and everyone's down. Everyone's that, and obviously that was gonna happen because of the big boom during COVID. Of course, it was gonna be down.
Yeah,
but I think this is a very smart move from Xbox, just going, okay, what can we do to retain how do we get more people in? And obviously, look at the stuff they've announced as well with like Valorant and stuff like that. It's like if you're a group of Valorant players and you want all the
Yeah.
operators or League players, or it's like, bro, do you want to just get this family plan, like so we can all having all of this? Yeah, it works. It really does work.
I think they implement something here to be able to say, because I'm thinking about me and my group of mates, right? There's 4 of us. We've all got Game Pass Ultimate. Is there a way for us to go, right, we're a family, merge all of our accounts,
No.
re-up
They've already-
all of our stuff?
That's already, I think, part of like the FAQ and stuff like that. You'd have to wait until that time lapses before you can do it, or you'd have to forego it, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm going to be waiting for 3 years then, everybody.
Me too. I'm at 3 years as well on mine. Yeah.
I think
Well,
that's
maybe
100% what they
2.5
wanted to do. They were like, I don't like. They technically would reduce the amount you have because you already have to reduce it, and then you would get rid of like all the added number, which for some people would end up that change would be worth it for them. If like whatever one of their friends has less time and whatever the case be, it could work out for people. But in most cases, I feel like it's not worth it for people who have already gone through the links to get 3 years and things like that.
Yeah.
My question is, what can they do the Game Pass to keep adding value? Like, are we at the line now? 2 games. It's the few added bonuses that we get. What else can we do to keep getting more out of this?
I think new games. I think the second you start going into like adding more value outside of the games, is the second you have to start looking at like the price has to increase at some point. And I think already we will get to a point where the price will increase and they're gonna be like, well, we have to look at how good our offer is. And the offer it's a steal right now. Like literally Game Pass is a steal right now, especially when and if the pricing is correct for this, that it's $25 for 5 people. It is a steal for the service. I could see them being like, well, we're gonna bump it up to 30. And then what happens if they're like, okay, well, we're gonna include all this other side stuff with it now. You got to bump that up even more. And that just continues pushing.
Is it still right now?
Right now, at $15 a month for Game Pass Ultimate.
I think it's still when we start getting these.
Yeah. Right now, I think it is.
Right now, it's very good. And I'm happy I get to play 2 Point Hospital. But I'm looking at it from an Xbox point of view. And I enjoy Xbox games. Not really still, because I'm still waiting on everything.
I think even with what we have here, once it's like $5 per person, I think at that point it becomes a steal. But that's also, you have to get 5 people to want to do that.
Easy.
For a lot of people, but I'm sure some people, it's like, I don't know 5 people and I'm not going to trust some random person on the internet.
Random person. I've given out passwords to things I definitely should not give passwords to. But Chris could have easily have deleted so many YouTube channels, Xbox accounts, could have run up bills on my card. I've never met this motherfucker in real life. Like, we just talk over the internet once a week. Like, what the fuck is this shit? So sometimes you gotta trust a stranger on the internet. You just gotta believe.
True.
You gotta just believe your friend with beautiful hair and a beautiful face. He's a nice guy. You just gotta believe.
Oh, thanks, Fix. I appreciate that. Wow.
Wait, you've never met Haley? That's a little awkward. Who's the lady walking in the background all the time?
I made. Does this. That's why she's always here on the podcast.
You're gonna get a smack in a minute, mate.
Yeah, she's gonna get off camera. Not gonna show up for next week's podcast. Not gonna respond.
Anything to add on this? Obviously, I assume we're all in.
Yeah, 100%. I wonder what the adoption rate would be like. Like, Microsoft do this for their 365 Office software and all sorts of stuff. So they have all the data to know if this is widely adopted. I would assume the vast majority of people have the most basic plan, right? Like when it comes to these sort of services.
I would imagine this is also a good service to get people who otherwise wouldn't try it into it and using it pretty actively. Because I wonder what the numbers will look like afterwards and how they're going to calculate numbers. If it's going to be like 5 people are attached to the family plan, we're going to say 5 people are on Game Pass, or if it's going to be like that one central person's the only person on Game Pass.
Interesting.
They're definitely going with 5
Yeah, they'll boost their numbers.
No
they'll boost their
what,
numbers.
I think so.
Every person who has family plan is 5. Even if you don't activate the 5, it's like, hey, you paying for 5. So
that's 5. 5 possible accounts there.
Exactly.
They'll word it a little bit more vaguely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I can see that. 100%. Let's get into what's going to be in our box, boys. We'll start with you, Chris. What have you been playing?
It's more multiverses and Digimon Survive.
Have you finished it yet? Digimon Survive?
I think I've been avoiding like all spoilers, so I don't. I think I'm on the last chapter, but I'm not sure.
Gotcha.
Because this is where like they put out like don't spoil anything past this chapter, so I assume I'm at the end, but I'm not sure.
Chris, you didn't sign no NDA. I know you bought this game. You don't have to listen to it. No, right?
No, I'm listening to that so that I avoid spoilers.
Oh, okay. So you're one of the people they're hoping to save. I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. Multiverses. I still haven't had a chance to play it. Still, I know it's out now.
So good.
I actually saw it on the Epic Store the other day, and I was like, oh, I need to download this because people keep saying it's good. And funny you say that. I played Brawlhalla again for Ubisoft, and I work for GTV, Ubisoft, yada. Take everything I say with a pinch of salt. Interesting game. I had always seen it advertised, and I'd never played it myself, and was like, kind of looks like a knockoff Smash. Like that's kind of the premise sort of thing I thought it was. It's actually quite a really fun game, especially like the 2v2s. Like we played ranked 2v2, me and Madus, and I was like, huh, this is actually really, really fun. And it instantly made me think, I really need to play multiverse. Because that's like the new hotness right now, and everyone's like loving it. And I know a lot of content creators playing it as well. And I'm like, yeah, I really need to give this game a go. Yeah, I'm assuming you're still having fun with it, right?
Oh yeah, me and Matt played yesterday. Not on stream, just played.
Oh, okay.
Just hanging out. Just hanging out like bros.
Thanks for the invite, boys.
It was in the Discord.
It was in our Discord. It was in our private Discord that you're in. So
yeah, sure. What the hell? Likely story.
Just gonna go through, delete all the comments.
Guys, you want to play games? It's just me and a channel on my own. So look, I asked you guys. You didn't reply. How'd it go? Are you winning? Are you losing? Are you getting beat? Like, where are you at right now? Skill level.
We won a majority of them.
Yeah, I think so. I think we streamed it on Monday night, and I feel like we had a much better win streak then than we did last night. Last night we struggled a little bit more.
Yeah, I think there's my lag also because obviously I'm from the US. The lag's a little bit worse. It was worse when we were playing yesterday than it was when we were streaming that day.
I was uploading a bunch of files to a Google.
Yeah,
Drive
I don't think that
wasn't helping. No,
I don't think that's what it is because it's it has rollback. It's not yeah, I don't think that's what it is.
Okay.
But
yes, we're having a lot of fun with it. We're getting decent. Like there's a bit of teamwork going on. Like what will typically happen is when you do your 2v2 matches, it offers you a rematch with the same opponents immediately after, and if everybody agrees, you're in. And so what we kind of got into a rhythm of is me picking a character for the first match that I don't know very well, us losing, then me picking Superman and us absolutely destroying them.
So many times.
And that's the rhythm that we're in.
Does that have 3v3s as well?
No, just 2v2 and 1v1.
Yeah, it maxed out at 4 players overall.
3v3 would be fucking wild. I don't know, man. Some of the stages for 2v2 aren't great.
Yeah, you have to find yourself a partner, and then we'll 2v2.
Me and King J. I'll reach out to my days of fighting game. Like, come on, Jay. Time for us to destroy these fools.
Bring it, mate.
Maybe I'll try to sort it out. Anything else you've been playing, Chris, or just those two? Yeah.
Just those two. More Destiny. I played Smite for the first time in like a month. A little over a month.
Oh.
Wait, who was it? What band was it? What skins?
Slipknot is not there no more.
Slipknot event? Yeah, my guy.
They moved to Nickelodeon skin.
Wait, what? They went from Slipknot to Nickelodeon?
Yeah, they've done a bunch of crossover events with Nickelodeon before.
Oh.
Yeah, they had Invaders and some other characters, Rocco.
What do you... If it ain't the Rugrats,
definitely not nobody.
If it ain't the Rugrats, who cares? Straight up. Put on a t-shirt. If it ain't the Rugrats, who cares? Simple.
MC Fixer, who cares? He's not the Rugrats.
That's facts.
He's no Tommy.
He's no Tommy. He's no Angelica.
Yeah.
Where's my guy Chucky at? Come on. Matt, what about you? Other than multiverses.
Multiverses, and I've been playing a little game called 2 Point Campus. Ooh. Unfortunately, I'm not a huge fan.
Idiot. Don't even forget the rest of this review.
Wow.
It's over. The guy that you don't know what he's talking about is an idiot. He's an idiot, everyone. He's an idiot.
So you've also talked negatively about 2 Point before, though, correct? I feel like you had not the nicest stuff, not like negative stuff, but not positive things to say about 2 Point Hospital, if I'm not mistaken.
I like 2 Point Hospital. I don't love it. Like, I like it. It's good. I don't think this is as good as 2 Point Hospital.
Why?
Interesting.
So, I think there's probably a lot for people to like here on like the casual level. Like the way it drives you through the campaign is each level is a different school. And so each time you go into a new level, like one's the wizarding school, one's the knight school, the medieval school. Then when you finish all that and go into the free play, that's where you can sort of mix and match. And you can mix and match in the campaign, but don't, because it'll just fuck you. Like it'll make it impossible to beat those levels and stuff.
The campaign kind of operates like a tutorial.
Yeah,
that's how
of
it
course,
feels.
It's
very tutorial.
Yeah. And that's totally fine. One little tip I would give you is once you 1-star a school, you unlock the next one, move on. Because the stuff you unlock for every school. And so if you stick around trying to get 3 stars in the first levels, you'll never unlock the stuff you might need, right? It just makes it really hard for you. So there's your little tip. But each school, like, so the wizarding school, only really has 2 classrooms to build. And then a library, which is generic to all of them, and a tutor room, which is generic to all of them, and everything else is generic to all of them. So the only unique thing about each kind of class or skill is like 2 rooms. And therefore like 1 type of teacher and 2 skills around that teacher and stuff like that. And it just feels like, oh man, I wish there was more. You know, like the visual stuff of like the night school of like people, you know, sword fighting in the streets and stuff like that. Like that's fun initially, and then you've seen it a million times, and it just doesn't introduce anything that new to keep me wanting to play more. Like there's not too much more to discover once I'm got through it. And yeah.
Can you not just jump into the free play?
I don't know. I don't know if you can just jump straight into the free play.
Got it. Because I don't think I'd want to play the campaign.
But like
you would though, because
you need to.
You would. Crash.
You would need
to. Doesn't sound fun.
As a 2 Point
aficionado.
Yeah, that's sort of the word I was looking. As a 2 Point word Matt said. Trust me. Don't worry about what he's saying right now. He's an idiot.
I like discovering
things.
Video
games.
I don't need a tutorial.
He didn't know
I came in
games.
hot on the negative, right? It is cool. It is fun. It's exactly what you see on the tin. I just wish there was some like depth to it. I wish there was some more to it. And to say there's no depth is harsh because it's a management sim game, and so like yeah. It is fun. One of the other things that I struggle with in it is that it's so based around student happiness that feels quite ambiguous, and I don't always know how to achieve it. Like in 2 Point Hospital, it's like, oh, there's a queue running out the door for this one room. I need to build another one and hire another doctor or whatever and split that up. In this, I'm like, okay, like you end each academic year and it's just like all the classrooms you just built them all again. Just have duplicates of them, and then you can start the next year. And I'm like, am I improving? Are people happy about this? Are people grading well? I don't really know. They're not dropping out. They're paying their fees, but I'm still in debt. I don't know how to play this game well. And I've gone through the whole campaign, so I feel like I should. But
Sounds like the American school system. They're paying their fees, full amounts.
Sure.
Don't worry about everything else. Their education, amount.
Nah.
Are the kids showing up?
They're showing up.
Just mark them as they are.
Yeah.
We'll get money.
So some of the things are really funny. Like it tells you at the beginning, like you can have 1 bed per 5 students, and that's totally fine. And then it's like, no, really, that is totally fine. And there's a lot of stuff in there about like you know, paying your fees and stuff like that. Yeah, it's expensive, but it's your education, so pay your fees and all stuff like this. It's like it's kind of funny commentary and all that sort of stuff.
I'm looking forward to playing it. I wasn't get a code. Probably because other thing.
Sure.
Emails.
If you got a code, would you have played it?
Yeah, because I got my laptop now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would have used it as an excuse to bust that thing out.
Oh yes, 100%. On the train, this old lady wants to sit down. Excuse me, my laptop's sitting there. Abandon.
I'm playing
Yeah?
2-point
I'm
house.
playing
I'm playing
House, bro.
2-point campus.
You better 2-point campus. You better move out of the way, right? You better move out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing. I played. I got to play Far Cry 6 again. On GTV, and I was doing the DLC. I got to try out the Stranger Things DLC that they had, the Vanishing.
Didn't even know this was the thing.
Even though it's a thing. Yeah. That was. I got a lot of that while I was live, actually. I think that might have been the reason they wanted me to play it.
Maybe.
But yeah, I got to play that. It was really good. Like, it's very dark. It's still very Far Cry-y, but it's very dark. They obviously, if you know, I'm not a Stranger. I still love. By the way, by the time I'm not a Stranger Things fan means I've never watched. Not that I don't like the show.
Dislikes it. Thinks it's horrible. He's told me so many times. I keep getting up to the latest episode, and it just ruins it every time for me.
No, the problem was everyone loved it, and as most people know, if everyone loves something, I go the opposite direction and never watch, because otherwise you go in with such expectations for it to be the next big thing, and when it isn't, you're heartbroken.
I agree with that.
You're heartbroken.
I agree with that.
So
that's why I stayed away from Road 96 for so long.
That's fair.
And then you played it and you liked it.
Yeah, but there was more. There was more of a possibility that I would have disliked it.
He doesn't love it like the way I love it. He likes it.
But for every let's say you do that with 5 things, right? And you're disappointed by 4 of them. One of them you'll love, and it'll be like your next fucking favorite thing. So
I'll never love it as much as everybody else, though. Just because everybody else loves it.
Do
you know? Look, I loved Resident Evil before it was cool, kids. Remember that.
It's not
such
cool.
a hipster.
But you love your Resident Evil 7s, your Resident Evil 8s. What about 1? What about 2?
I feel like you're only talking to me
What about
right now. You say everybody, but I'm the only person you're talking to.
You're not, though, bro. The amount of people I talk to about Resident Evil are like, yeah, I love Resident Evil 7. And I'm like,
yeah.
Suck it.
Resident Evil got a whole new age wave of fans.
Yes, and I don't like
and fixes the grumpy old head that hates everybody, but usually is in the most wrong about everything. Because he's so out of touch with what the franchise is now.
I'll be honest with you. That's an accurate. That's accurate. Yeah, that's definitely. Yeah. I can't even argue with you. You're right.
Apologize.
You're right. I'm sorry. I apologize. But yeah, I was playing the Stranger Things DLC. Beat that. It's about an hour long. I liked what I played, and I had a really good time with it. Obviously, I've not seen the show, so the big Demigorgon. I had to look that up, by the way. I was like, I watched this video. And
I saw you tweet your tweet with the word in it, and I'm like, oh wow, Fix learned a big word.
You think I wrote that tweet?
I was pretty sure you didn't. There were no spelling errors, no grammar errors.
You think I write those tweets? Funny guy. Anyway, yeah, you can't kill a Demigorgon. And I know that's like a Stranger Things thing, I think. I don't know. I've not seen the show. Don't spoil it for me. But, yeah. So, you're just running away from the Demigorgon. And that bit left me a little bit unsatisfied. The rest of it, atmospheric. I really enjoyed the story they were telling there. Certain other bits I really enjoyed. So you go through the portal and they take away all your guns. So you've literally just got a gun and a knife, like, to stop it being so action-packed. They want you to play it stealthily. We all know I don't do stealth. Then you've got throwing knives as well. Like, I enjoyed it, but I just wanted a little bit more. There was this giant-looking spider-looking thing in the sky, and they explained all that. But I was like, I want to fight that. And I didn't get to fight that. So I was a little bit like, kind of wish there was a little bit more. Huh? Not that it weren't good. Just wanted more.
You're moaning about not being able to kill the Demogorgon, that it's just chasing you and you have to escape, whatever. Your favorite game of all time, maybe? Resident Evil 2, which has that exact mechanic? Or Resident Evil 2 Remake? Mr. X, right? Chasing you around in the police station that you can't kill.
You can definitely hurt Mr. X down to maybe not death, but you can fight him. You can actively fight him. Not smart
you
to,
can't
but you
actively fight the Demogorgon.
It's pointless. You literally shoot it and it's just like, yo, fam, move yourself.
You
Like,
can make
no.
the argument that it's pointless to fight Mr. X. You could absolutely make that argument.
I agree with this, man.
I agree with, and I understand what you're saying, Fix. Like, you can fight him, but it's pointless.
When you fight Mr.
Hey.
X, you actively stop him from chasing you. So there's a mechanic built in there.
Always chases you.
But what I'm saying is to get distance away from him, or to buy yourself some time to go and hide in a better place, you can fight Mr. X. We agree on that.
But you could also just run away.
I understand that, but I'm saying
But you
there is a
can. You have the
mechanic
option.
built.
Okay, yeah.
It
built
was-
in to fight him to be able to disable him. So for the purpose of you getting a little bit more distance or you moving, fighting this Demigorgon did nothing.
Okay.
It was just a petty little thing for me to bring up to rile you up. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Just
And
wanted
then
to
we
get under
could
your
talk
skin.
about Nemesis in 3, and there is a reason to fight him because
No,
he drops
we don't.
weapons.
We don't talk about 3.
What have I played? Yeah, I think that's it. To be
You know
honest
what?
with
You know what? I jump back into very, very, very quickly. State of Decay 2. My mates suggested, hey, let's jump into it as like our, run around, chat shit, whack shit. It's not a great game to jump into immediately in co-op, but I put in the legwork of like the 2 or 3 hours to get like through the main tutorial bits, and it's pretty good fun. I just like bossing my friends around, basically.
Some of the
Like, you go over there,
mechanics in that game is just
Like
not,
what?
it's not well designed. Like, does it still have it? So when I played it at launch, it was like when you go into a house, like it's all coded to like you, like so you can only pick up your items, and they can pick up
Yes.
their items. And to me, that like defeats the whole objective of a post-apocalyptic zombie survival game. Is like only you can pick up that wrench. Not everyone can pick up the stuff that's there. You can. It's like
you have to pick it
why?
up and then drop it
Why?
out of your
It's just
inventory
like,
for people to
but
pick it.
why?
Yeah.
Like,
It's dumb.
It's dumb.
It's also, I assume, still like mainly the host's world and the other
Yes.
people are playing in it. Yeah, I dislike that. It should be a shared world experience.
I agree. I agree with all these things you're saying. And maybe it will be in State of Decay 3.
You'd hope so.
I'm gonna be honest.
I think at this point, don't hold your breath for it.
I remember coming off hot of that CGI trailer and being like, they're gonna do it. They're gonna make it trip. I've lost all hope. Don't ask me why. Nothing has changed.
Honestly, I think that's the best place to be in with that game. Is to be hopeless because all it can do is surprise you.
One is so
Exactly what we're
good.
talking about with Stranger Things. Low expectations.
Yeah.
One is so good, and 2 was so at launch especially so not good.
Yeah, I regret so much waiting for 2 instead of just playing 1 because I was like, oh, I want co-op because everybody's talking about it. Everybody's like, the only thing it needs is co-op. The only thing it needs is co-op. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait for 2. 2 got announced. It has co-op. I'm just gonna wait for that. And then it came out. I played it. I'm like, okay, I don't see what's so special about State of Decay.
One was special, especially considering the players of the team back in the day, and it being like it was part of what was it called? Not Summer Games. Summer, like when they used to do the Xbox Store Summer.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly what it's
Summer of
called.
Arcade?
Summer of Arcade. I believe it was a part of that. I remember like it was like £15 or something like that back when like games were not that, and I remember buying it and being like, this game. This
so
game
good.
is fun. Remember back then we didn't have permadeath and stuff like that. Like the fact of your characters dying meant something. Like you just put all this time building this character's strength up and speed and agility and things like that, and then all right, we're gonna take her out, and if she dies, that's it.
Yeah.
Like that was so fresh that like 2 was like, we've done that before. I don't know what they can do. Free to me needs
Nailed
to
the
be,
co-op.
now the co-op, and I feel like it needs to be more like a DayZ. Like not in terms of like this, in terms of the other players, in terms of a big world, and you need like base building and stuff like that is like what I feel
Got
like
it.
the base building in State of Decay just never interested. Like Go get these resources. Alright, it's done. Like,
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think there's a lot they could learn from looking at Raft, to be honest, while playing Raft, because Raft has a narrative in it that you want to build certain stuff to continue that progression in that story, and I feel like it could work that way, where it's like you want to build this sort of thing because it'll let you find other stuff that you need to build to progress whatever loose narrative they have in the game, but ultimately it is about increasing your chances of survival and recruiting new people. You okay, Fix? You look sad.
Raft.
I've put like 15 hours at Raft, Fix.
I wanted to play Raft with you back when we were friends, and now you don't care.
I'll play Raft with you right now, Fix.
Yeah,
We can end the podcast and play Raft.
Cool,
I will.
You will.
I will.
I hate you. Sometimes I just hate you.
Me and Crash play games together all the time, so I don't know why you...
Bro, I don't have time. Not fair. I don't have time to do anything anymore. I go in the game industry to play games, and now I don't even get to play games. I do emails and invoices and GTA roleplay for 20 hours a damn day.
That's a game.
Doesn't feel like it. It feels like real life at this point.
And live gigs. You're a man who wears many hats, MC Fixer.
I know.
This gaming isn't one of them.
Bro, do you know how long I've been trying to play the fucking Quarry? Every time I sit down to play the Quarry, it's like, oh, do you want to go get dinner? And I'm like, yeah, I would much rather go get dinner. We go get dinner. We get back at 10 o'clock, and it's like, I don't want to start a game at 10. I don't start a game at 10 o'clock at night. Ugh, I'd rather just go to sleep. Just do the whole thing process again. Like,
It'll all fix up when you get a new place fix. Don't worry about it.
Moving on. Moving on. Let's jump into this week's dashboard. Big piece of news this week. Sony says Xbox's Call of Duty acquisition could influence users' choice of console. This one was taken from Windows Central, and the little read here I got is Sony has responded to Microsoft's proposal acquisition of Activision Blizzard, providing further insight into the $68.7 billion, that's B with a B, billion, deal set to bring Call of Duty and other hit video game franchises under the Xbox ownership. Sony stated that Microsoft's ownership of Call of Duty brand could, quote, influence users' console choice, end quote, pushing back on the deal first announced in 2022. Microsoft has since responded to concerns, arguing that Call of Duty and other household names within Activision's catalog, quote, complete with a vast number of titles. The firm has also assembled a list of what it considers direct competition to Call of Duty, with a subsequent list for titles like World of Warcraft and Candy Crush. Matt, I know you got a hot take on this one, so hit me.
What was your exact response when we brought this up?
I said, we were talking about what we were going to make top of the show, either the family plan or, and Fix went, what else is going on? I went, oh, well, Sony going, yeah. I think that was my exact response.
It was. So where the hell does this come from?
So this was filed with let's see, where is it? It's the Brazil's Administrative Council for Economic Defense. So it's not like Sony went and just made a statement publicly. It is something to do with the Brazilian government, right?
Okay.
I'm assuming that there's just sort of like checks that need to go by for big deals like this, right? So it's not like they did this out of nowhere. And also, Sony's not technically wrong about anything they said.
No, absolutely not. And it's not Sony going, it's them having to file a report and them saying a very obvious thing, which is that, yeah, if Call of Duty goes exclusive, that may influence some people buying decisions. And Xbox going, well, you've got Battlefield, go play Battlefield.
Here's you want to know the list of games that Xbox
I just looked at it. Yeah, go on, Chris.
Apex Legends, Battlefield, Borderlands. Borderlands doesn't compete with Call of Duty, but okay. Counter-Strike, okay. Crossfire, Destiny, Doom, Far Cry, Gears of War, Fortnite, Halo, Overwatch, PUBG, Team Fortress 2, Titanfall, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, and Valorant.
They
pretty wide net.
They were just like, one of the biggest selling first-person shooters of all time. Copy and paste that list.
Some of those aren't even first-person shooters.
What's not a first-person shooter in there?
Fortnite, Gears of
Oh,
War.
Fortnite. I didn't hear you say Fortnite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean,
I understand both points. I understand why Sony said what they said because it's truthful. There's nothing that can realistically compete with Call of Duty. We've talked about how big Call of Duty is time and time again. To say otherwise would be to counteract any point we've ever made about Call of Duty, correct?
yes.
And I also think Microsoft's correct when they're like, yeah, but there is competition. The competition's just irrelevant.
Hey, it's not our fault. It's not our fault that
No, I agree.
Don't sell as good as Call of Duty. Yeah? Like,
I agree.
there's a reason why I'm not in these big corporations, and I'm not a corporate guy, right? Because to me, any statement I take personal about, fired. We're taking Call of Duty. When this goes through, we're taking Call of Duty, and you can't have it anymore. It's coming with us. That's literally what I would do. I'd literally be like, nope, you can keep Warzone. Like, you can keep Warzone, but like to get exclusive guns and stuff, you better own a fucking Xbox or a PC, bitch. You ain't getting none of it. Like, it would be hilarious to me.
No, they should throw him a bone and be like, we'll port Call of Duty Mobile to PlayStation.
People like Call of Duty Mobile.
I know.
It's too much for them. That's too much.
I think you hit the nail on the head here, Crash. This list is not technically wrong. Those games there do technically compete with Call of Duty. Some of them a little bit out there. Borderlands, for instance. I think comparing
first-person shooter.
Comparing the two, very different audiences, I would say. But hey, I just find it ironic that like they just bought Bungie and bought Destiny. They're like, oh yeah. like imagine Xbox had been like, oh, you have Destiny. Destiny's a big franchise,
Destiny is a big franchise. Destiny doesn't compete with Call of Duty in the same way.
I disagree with you in a sense of like, technically everything competes with everything. I think you could every single game here. If you want about directive, the only game that really competes with Call of Duty on this level is Battlefield. It's the only game that like in a apples to apples comparison.
But what their whole point was like the production time it takes to make a Call of Duty and to make a game that quality is like you can't do that. Even Bungie wouldn't be able to make a game like Call of Duty in the fashion that it's made, and that's the whole point.
Agreed.
That's the lens that the comment was made from, and so Microsoft takes the lens, adjusts it slightly, and they're like, no, there's competition over there.
I mean, it helps when you see like EA on this list a few times as well.
Yes,
it helps you like, well, EA have Apex and Battlefield. Like, they've got two of the big games, and then like the thing is, what I find funny about this list is I look at this list and I go, oh yeah, Sony really needed COD. Like, they needed a shooter. Like a big shooter. And they don't have it. And that's why this makes me laugh even more. I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, oh yeah, Xbox have got Gears and Halo. Whether you love Halo or not, or Gears or not, that's down to you. Xbox have Doom. And they're like, oh yeah. Sony don't do shooters very well, do they? So that makes a lot of sense why it would be very damning for them if COD isn't on their platform.
Yeah. Which I don't think even after this, like the idea of whether COD will be on there or not isn't going to change. It's going to stay the same. I'm sure for them, for Microsoft and Sony, they're looking at this like it's business as usual.
COD is going to be exclusive to Xbox. Mark my words. I don't think Warzone ever will be. And Warzone's around for the next 10 years, if not more. But COD, wait for it.
COD will
Mark my words. Mark my words. Mark my words, kids. I know better than everybody. All right?
I'm pretty sure you said that Bethesda games wouldn't be exclusive.
Nah. I'm never wrong.
Okay.
You can't find that evidence anywhere, Crash.
No way. Moving on. EA says...
I got a really good joke. Fix has gone live multiple times with the evidence.
Next news story. EA says single-player games are really... really important part of its portfolio after controversy. During a recent earnings call, EA CEO Andrew Wilson reassured investors that single-player games are still a major part. I'm going to slap you. Move that again, see what happens. Move that again and see what happens.
That wasn't on purpose.
You. Still a major part of the company's output, despite what it may say on Twitter. Okay. Quote, as we think about single-player games, we think it's a really important part of our overall portfolio that we deliver in fundament of those core motivations. EA, just shut up.
I want to say something. I think it's unfair to point at the tweet and say that it's EA in the same way we separate community managers as individual from the company. I think in the same time that has to be made because that was made as a joke from somebody who had access to the Twitter account.
So for those who don't know what the tweet said, it was funny. There are. Wait,
no, they're a 10.
They're a 10.
They're a 10,
but they only play single player games. And then that was the
everybody roasted them for it.
And they took a huge L on Twitter. And it's one of those ones where I'm like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
What were,
I don't know
what
whoever
were
did
you
it.
thinking? Like,
yeah.
Like, I just love seeing like other EA executives like what? Why?
Yeah.
What? What?
EA was confused by the tweet as well. So it's not
to be
like
fair, like also though, it's harmless. Like, all right, people rip the shit out of you on Twitter for it, but it's not actually going to impact anything.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to go, oh, I'm not buying Battlefield now because of that.
Yeah,
but
it introduces a unnecessary level of toxicity. It like opens the door for it.
Sure.
Because people were very, very negative and toxic and overreacted to that statement. And like it's also you're being a hypocrite. Even though like EA's not being a hypocrite, whoever the community, whoever gave the okay for that tweet to be sent out, that was like, yeah, you know what? That sounds like a funny tweet. They've probably seen a few of those memes. And they're like, yeah, you know, we should do that. That'll be funny. They'll understand the joke that we're making fun of ourselves. Which is, I think that is what the point of the tweet was. I don't think it was as face value as people were making it seem to be.
Bro, when you're EA, you can't make jokes, right? You're not allowed to make jokes like this.
You're the bad guy.
You
bad guys can't make jokes.
No, but like who? I just find it funny that it's like when you see one community manager put out a tweet like this, and then they just get all the smoke, and then the fact now is like they have to go into the office and look at people and go, "Bro, I thought it was a good tweet. I'm not gonna lie to you, like, and you have to back it up now and be like, I thought it was a good tweet."
That's easy. You go, here's the Twitter dashboard. Here is the percentage increase in engagement.
I know.
Here is the percentage increase in engagement on following tweets.
Yep.
Done.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
And here are the sales for Battlefield. They haven't moved an inch. Nobody's bought the game in 6 months.
Still at 0. I don't know what's going on. I'm doing my job to get eyes on EA.
God damn it. Alright, next up, EA is reportedly working on a Black Panther game. This one was reported by Windows Central as well. According to Giant Bomb journalist Jeff Grubb, publisher EA, is working on a Black Panther game. The plot reportedly revolves around the death of the current Black Panther, with the player creating a character to take up the mantle. This game is reportedly very early in development at one of Electronic Arts' yet unnamed Seattle studios. This studio was also recently founded by the former Monolith Productions VP Kevin Stevens. I don't know how I feel about the whole Black Panther died aspect. And I know this might have happened beforehand. This might have been the idea already, and it makes sense in a video game sense. But Black Panther's become something a lot bigger than what I think any of us ever would have anticipated with the loss of Chadwick Boseman. And yeah, you gotta be very careful. And I'm not saying like there can never ever be any Black Panther storylines around the death of him, but still right now I think it's quite raw.
Yeah, it feels like one of two things. A, it's a little bit predatory on real life situations, and B, it feels like it's aiming to be a movie unofficial tie-in, which both of those things I don't like. I also I'm not a huge fan of the create a character thing. It just feels.
I just don't think the story's going to be very good at that point. Then.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's like, how are you going to narratively make me care about this if I'm creating whoever would be the next Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
I will argue the other side of this. That I'm
Okay.
not necessarily 100% agreeing on, but let's have a discussion. So like this is the way the Black Panther mythology works, right? When the Black Panther dies, the next person takes the mantle. When Chadwick Boseman's dad died in the Winter Soldier, Chadwick Boseman took up the mantle of Black Panther.
Yeah.
Although I think actually canonically he already was
He
because
already
the other guy was
was.
too old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he took up the mantle of Black Panther as in being king of Wakanda.
Yeah.
And so like that is like the lineage of the Black Panther storyline. I agree. It's weird with Black Panther dying and stuff, with Chadwick Boseman dying and stuff like that. But like if you decided we're gonna create a character, I think this is the makes the most sense to make that work in that world. And then what I was going to say is like, as far as story wise goes, there's an interesting lore with Black Panther of like the warring tribes, right? Or, you know, they're warring at some points and not at others. But the idea that similar to Hogwarts Legacy, you could sort of like pick your tribe and then like come at that role from like that area and maybe have some like base building management stuff of like managing Wakanda as the king of Wakanda and then going out and fighting and stuff like that. Like, I think that idea is kind of cool.
No.
I think that idea sounds
sucks.
very, very ambitious. And to pull that off successfully, I think is actually kind of difficult. Because there's so many moving parts to that, as opposed to just making a Black Panther superhero game, right?
Just give
No, but
me
the last
a
thing
Black
I want is a
Panther.
Black Panther super game.
Nope. Just give me a narrative-driven Black Panther. Narrative-driven story, single-player, narrative-driven game. Simple. Done. Bro, Marvel have not even hit yet with a game, apart from Spider-Man. Which doesn't count, because it's not an Xbox.
Midnight Sun looks pretty cool.
Trash.
Midnight Sun isn't out yet.
Trash?
Guarantee.
It's a tiny
Guarantee. Put it in
It's
the
a bit.
bank.
Hold on.
Put it
You
in
think
the
Midnight
bank.
Suns is going to be bad?
It's going to come out. Solid 7.
Pizza bet.
No, I don't disagree with that.
Solid
Solid
7.
seven.
And that's not
Pizza
trash.
bet.
I'm being
What are
hyperbolic.
we pizza
here.
betting? We agree, Crash.
Pizza bet.
Just
No,
'cause
I
you
disagree
say
with
it-
that.
Just,
I don't think it'll be a 7.
Lower?
Higher.
Bruh. What do you think?
What?
What do you
it'll be at
think?
least an 8.
From who?
No, hold on.
What?
Who's just because you say
Metacritic.
what every time, yeah,
Metacritic.
don't mean anything.
Because I don't understand what you're asking.
Are you stone cold? What? What? Like, bruh.
I think on Metacritic it will be at least an 8.
So a week after reviews, critic scores, you're saying at least an 80.
At least
Crash.
that's at least an 80.
Oh, I think it'd be a higher 70. Like, don't get me wrong. I think the people that are going
So
to
you
love
think
that,
it'll
I
be
think
in the
prob-
70s,
Well,
not a 70?
The problem, yes, it's not going to be
So I
70
think there's a
on the
difference
dot.
between a 70 and a 79.
Are you fucking kidding me,
I'm just saying there's a difference.
bro? But everyone marks things differently. Like, to me, I think I'm going to play the game and I'm going to go, yeah, that was fun. But like, from what I've seen so far from it, like, even like its artwork, like art style, I don't love, and like, it's never blown me away. It's on Switch as well. It's like, no, it doesn't feel next gen-y. I know next gen's kind of gone by now. It's current gen. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, tell me about it.
I want to point something out, Fix. You've done a much better job at explaining yourself right now than you did when this whole topic started.
I just don't think the game's gonna like I say, Marvel to me has just kept missing. Avengers, miss.
I think you can make an argument that Guardians of the Galaxy didn't miss.
For me, Guardians of the
Okay.
Galaxy, miss. Because
But-
the game, not the story, the gameplay. I just couldn't. This I think the gameplay is gonna be super solid, but the narrative is gonna be like going to talk to Blade and like, hi Blade, how are you? Hi, insert name here.
This is
Okay,
gonna be a
let's
whole bunch
go.
of fan service.
They'll just be like, I just don't care. Like, and that doesn't make it bad, but I'm talking about from my perspective. Like, I don't think it's gonna hit.
Okay. You sold me.
Matt, look at Matt. Matt looks struggling with this.
No. Look, I always say I'm biased when it comes to Marvel. Like I will eat this shit up. Whatever it gives me, I'm gonna enjoy it. I know I am. And like I like XCOM and all that sort of stuff. Although it looks very different than what they show off of that kind of aspect of it. So yeah, I'm super excited for Midnight Suns.
It doesn't mean I don't
But
want
you
to play
already
it.
know.
It doesn't mean I can't. I'm not looking forward to it. I don't know. Something in my tummy says no.
The reason I haven't jumped in on this idea of a pizza bet, I love a fucking pizza bet, is because I could go either way. It's dangerous for me. I don't make dangerous bets. I make foolproof pizza bets.
I do think that this is a very. I think this game could easily be around a 70 or in the 80s, in the 70s or 80s.
100%.
I think yeah. I don't think it's because it's very possible this game could have a good story and then have good gameplay as well, especially given it's the XCOM developer, right? But then it's also very possible that the story and the narrative and the world just feel like, hey, we wanted to do something with Marvel, so we just threw Marvel characters together.
We've got these characters. Why would we not use them?
Yeah.
And why would we not write this terrible dialogue that nobody cares about?
Bear in mind, Marvel's Avengers on PS4 is sat at a 67 on Metacritic.
And okay,
if that's a
what's
67,
Guardians?
this game's getting 90s.
What's Guardians?
Let me have a look.
But I think it is a 67. I can see that.
Yeah.
A high 6, 100%.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Very good campaign.
Guardians of the Galaxy is sat at an 80 on PlayStation 5.
8
on Metacritic.
Why are we looking at PlayStation 5?
I don't know. It's the first one that came up. So don't blame me. User score of 8.7.
I don't care to. Users are idiots.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
But reviewers are just users of titles.
Exactly, and they matter way more. All
right. On Xbox, it's sat at 84. Somehow it's got an extra 4 points. So
idiots. What reviewers?
No, reviewer score.
Idiots. I always knew they were idiots.
Lots of reviewers are idiots. That's why we don't review games on this podcast, because we're not idiots.
Yeah, we're not stupid like the rest of them. Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Those
I get where you're
voices were great.
We'll see.
Each had like 8 seconds of
That was my trial for my voice acting career. Next story, and probably the last one we'll do for today. Dead by Daylight announces a new Resident Evil collaboration, Project W. Behavior Interactive, the developer of Dead by Daylight, previously worked with Capcom to bring Jill Valentine and Leon S. Kennedy to the game. Now, a new Resident Evil collaboration will bring new survivors to the Fog, Ada Wong and Rebecca Chambers. But with the new survivors means a new killer, and it is none other than Albert Wesker, the mastermind, as he's called in the Fog. Check out the first trailer below, which you can't because that's just how it was written. Thanks for that, Crush. Appreciate it. Bit disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. I was looking forward to this update, but like,
how do you feel about the map change?
What, the RPD?
Yeah.
I ain't never had a problem with the RPD in Dead by Daylight, but Dead by Daylight fans had a real big problem with the RPD in it. So, and they hated it. So, for a Resident Evil fan, I'm not happy, because it was actually really true to what was there. That was like the thing that I loved about it. It was like, it was pretty much identical to Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
But I understand, for the mechanics of the game to work and for it just to be a usable map, because people were literally loading into the map and quitting out. That's how much they hated that. They hated that map with a passion.
For what I played, that map wasn't that bad.
We are not the Dead by community. This is something I learned when I started watching Morph and people like that, where I'm like, there's us who played Dead by, and we love Dead by, right? So we jump in, we play. Oh god, we got cool. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. We don't know about we don't understand that game. The Dead by community, though, people like Attack Masher, Morph, Olibot, Gibbs, people like that. No. They need map knowledge, and when they tell me this map is bad, I have to believe them. I have to. It hurts my feelings, but I have to. But more to the point, I'm just a little bit disappointed in the characters. Aiden and Rebecca.
Who would you want?
Well, we got Leon, Jill, right? And then we got a Chris skin, but we didn't get like a Chris character, if I'm not mistaken. So to me, it would have been like obvious to add Chris. Obviously, I'm happy Wesker's there, but I don't know, man. I would have liked someone a little bit more obscure, to be honest with you. Like, I think it would have been hilarious if Chief Irons was in here. You know, as one of the survivors. You guys don't remember Chief Irons, do you?
What's he?
No.
Oh, is he the cop?
Yeah, he's
The cop that turns?
the chief of police. Crash. He's Chief
That
Irons.
turns.
Oh, he's the guy in the orphanage.
Yes.
I'm with
Oh, no clue.
you.
No
I
clue
hate this
whatsoever.
podcast. I hate doing this podcast. I never want to do this podcast again. It fucking sucks. I just thought it would have been funny. More. Ada and Rebecca's fine. Who even knows who Rebecca is, though? Let's be honest. Like, these kids
sure.
don't know Rebecca. And I guess maybe to them that is the obscure one, though. So that maybe it makes sense. Like, to me, I'm like, Rebecca's so basic, you know?
What game is Rebecca Chambers from?
1, 0.
Is she the other main character in 0?
Yeah.
Oh, I like her.
But bro,
Good
could you imagine?
game.
Could you imagine? Like, keep it real. Imagine they do all this, and then they announce Billy. The Resident Evil community just goes, "Wait a second, what? Billy's alive?" Like, that could be mad.
I'll buy it. My boy Billy.
So, but yeah, for people wondering, I'm gonna buy this. So don't worry, I'll be jumping in to buy the skins and buy it. Spend another £30 on Dead by stuff that I don't need.
How do you feel about Wesker?
Yeah, I'm fine with Wesker. It made more sense than Nemesis when they put Nem in first. I was like, huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wesker's not that, like, plodding, chasing you character, though, is he? It feels a bit odd to me to have Wesker in there. Like...
Nah, as long as he's balanced correctly, like they've got I don't know how many
you
played. There's plenty of characters that have like
they play very differently.
What's the word?
Unique
when
gameplay.
When somebody
somewhere
what's teleport? I guess
Speed?
teleport-ish.
Yeah.
Like they've got characters like that. So
okay.
Yeah, but there's also like characters with unique mechanic. Like the Scream guy wants to hunt you down and follow you for a while.
Yep.
And he gets like buffs and stuff like that. So I could see them figuring out how to make a Wesker work in a fun way for that game.
Yeah, because they're not using Wesker from Resident Evil 1 before the virus.
Yeah.
They're using Wesker hyped up on Ouroboros, I would have assumed. Slick back hair and stuff like that. My question is, I wonder who they got to voice him. Is it DC Douglas or not?
Interesting.
The guy who plays in the movies.
Yeah, I'll slap you. I'm so done. Do you know that that Netflix show I had like downloaded for the plane journey, and I couldn't bring myself to push play.
I've heard good things about it. To be fair,
I've heard very mixed things.
I've heard very bad things.
I've heard surprisingly positive things about it. It's one of the better video game created stuff, especially as far as Resident Evil is good for concerned.
That's not hard,
which isn't saying a
man.
lot. Yeah, no, it's not saying a lot, but still.
Yeah, that's not hard. Yeah. I mean, that's it, boys. That's it. We got more news. We got a bunch of questions. We'll get to them next week. Unfortunately, I've got a live performance I've got to go do. So let's plug, and get ourselves out of here. Crash, we got to plug this week, dude.
My Xbox and Me YouTube, subscribe. We started going up in subscribers after it's been a long time that it's kind of been going downhill. So that's nice. That's about it.
Crash, you got to say that with a little bit more enthusiasm, though. Bro.
I got no enthusiasm. The sun's rising right now. I got no enthusiasm.
The sun's rising. The fire's rising. Yeah, I mean, Matt, what about you? What you got to plug, bro?
Go to the My Xbox and Me. No, sorry, go to the MC Fixer Discord, because in there are the My Xbox and Me channels.
Yeah.
Where you can chat to all the My Xbox and Me listeners and people and ask questions. I think that's like the easiest way for us to get questions. Although, you can tweet us. You can do all the normal things as well. But yeah, love the Discord. I see you all in there. Don't always interact, but I see you all in there. I appreciate you.
Bro, you're one of those.
That ignores you.
He's one of those chronic lurkers. He's just there.
You know what it is? Part of it is that I am one of those people that has inbox of 0 emails. And so Discord for me actually is a bit much.
I 100% agree.
But I've somehow clicked it in my head that as long as the My Xbox and Me channel, the My Xbox and Me questions channel is empty, as far as like I've read it all, then I'm okay.
Let me help you. Go on to Discord. When you see all those see all the notifications, click on the icon of MC Fixer and click mark as red. It will clear every single notification.
Oh my god! Can I just do that for individual channels though? Because now I don't want to not go to the My Xbox and Me channel.
I can't help you with everything, bro. I gave you the key.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Whether you turn it or not, that's up. Yes, you can mute channels. But I tell you right now, if you mute
Never used
general
Discord.
and you mute announcements, I will kick you from my Discord.
He
No,
will.
Won't do that. Won't do that.
All right.
To be fair, there apart from sport, like I don't feel like I need to mute much.
Apart from sport,
Anyway.
no one uses the sports channel. Stop it.
My point is, ladies and gentlemen, go to the My Xbox and Me. Go to the MC Fixer Discord. Don't go to the My Xbox and Me Discord because it doesn't exist.
Technically.
I love you and I'll see you there. It doesn't exist for them. It doesn't exist for the people.
That's true. We could just open it up and like settle our bits to private.
You want the inner workings of my Xbox and Me? You guys can all join and watch, but nobody can put it or write anything.
It's just us. It's just Matt saying, "We're doing the podcast today." Me going, "Sorry guys, something come up. We pushed it. It's literally. It's not pretty. It's not pretty." What do I have to announce? My EP is done. My brand new EP is finished. It will be out hopefully in a couple of weeks' time. Got a brand new music video dropping with it. I've got a song with P Money. So
That's exciting, I imagine.
yeah, it's mad.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. It's mad. So yeah, I got a song called Talking Numbers with Wicked and P Money. Obviously, for anyone who knows P Money, one of the best grime rappers of all time. I'd just say best rappers of all time, in my opinion. And yeah, to have a song with him it's a very special moment for me. As someone who's been listening to someone, imagine you've listened to someone since you were 13, and then I'm very privileged to be able to call him a friend. But not only that, be able to be like work with him on a song as well is like, yeah, it's the things dreams are made of, kids. So don't give up on your dreams, because who would have thought? If you would have said to me a year ago, you're gonna release 20 songs, and one of them is gonna be with P Money, I would be like, you're a fucking idiot. And we've only been doing this 9 months, so.
Is that right? 20 songs in 9 months?
Yeah, it's gonna. So once this EP comes out, it will be 20 songs in 9 months.
Dude, that's insane.
You think after the EP drops, you slow down a little bit, or got it?
If this EP doesn't get me whitelisted, I'm going back to Variety. And I will. What?
It's not gonna happen.
I'm going back to Variety. And GTA Roleplay will still be a huge part of my life, and I will still be on it the majority of the time, but I'm not going to stop playing. I could have knocked out The Quarry in like 2 seconds, and I didn't.
Yeah.
I could have knocked out, what's the other game I missed? What's the other game that I missed? The Quarry, and there's one more.
Power Wash Simulator.
No.
Yeah.
Ah!
That is it. It's power. What do you mean? No.
What's the other one?
I can't read your mind, Fix.
The other
Dusk.
Oh, Duskfall. Duskfall.
As Dusk Falls. Yeah,
As Dusk Falls, yeah.
Falls.
That P. Yeah, I could have knocked both those out in probably like 2 seconds.
I might play it out this weekend. Maybe I'll play it out this weekend. Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Well, I'm going to be at Twitch London performing live. Hopefully we get a video from it. If we do, you'll see it up on my YouTube channel. Go subscribe. Until next time, we'll love you, leave you. See you later. Keep being amazing and a good boys.
Bye.